Hello everyone and welcome. This is the Silent K and today we're playing MekHQ, as you might have gathered from that little blip. One thing that I noticed when I was loading up and getting ready is that this artillery-based hostile engage mission that we're currently in progress of, for some reason it only has 2 lances assigned to it. So I'm going to go ahead and redeploy Tonga Lance as a reinforcement as it was, and then I'm going to go back to the briefing room where we've got 13 units deployed, and we're going to load. That was take 2, I believe it was. Yes, artillery based take 2. So we were on the beginning of round 4. We've got reinforcements arriving, I believe, on turn 6. We've lost a hair over 3% of our forces, but we've cost the artillery garrison 40% of their forces, and the primary op 4 over 20% of theirs. The base turrets are still at full strength, but that's fine. Mr. McGorilla, hey, how's it going? Glad you could join us. Also, Varank, always lovely to have people in the chat talking and interacting. I do enjoy the give and take. Oh, and Lark, member of the Mystic Knights of the Oingo Boingo, is here. We were actually just watching a documentary about The Nightmare Before Christmas, and we got a little bit of backstory with oh bother, what's his name? Who was actually in the Mystic Knights of Oingo Boingo? Tim Burton and babe, help me out here.
I don't.
Who did the music?
Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman. Thank you. I could not come up with the name. Oh, thank you, Lark. Lark also came up with that. So yeah, coincidences abound today, it seems like. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to, it's under game, we're going to replace player, we're going to replace the pirate base turrets, the pirate op 4 artillery garrison, the pirate primary op 4, and the Federated Commonwealth allied mech reinforcements. We're going to replace those all with the appropriate bots. And that brings us to the next phase, because we were just waiting for the bot to place their thumper rounds. Lark says, I've been a lifelong fan of Danny Elfman's work, and I know he's a legend in the movie scoring business, but to me, his prime work will be the discography of Oingo Boingo. Agreed. Big fan of No One Lives Forever in particular. Varang says, Rogue Tech made updates where you can start as a lance of battle armor and carry battle armor on your mech, like OmniMech style, like elementals and stuff. That's pretty cool. Yeah, okay. That is pretty awesome. It would be, I think, even more personally important if I played Rogue Tech, but I don't know if my computer could handle that kind of strain. It already sounds like it's going into hyperdrive when I played Battletech. Okay, so moving into the movement phase, it looks like the thumper here has already moved, and that is because it is in fact immobile. We've got a prone Whitworth up here. That was a weird jump. Turrets obviously can't do anything during the movement phase. Ash, just a quick recap. I had been refreshing my memory, but it couldn't hurt to just do a quick once over. Let me put this behind the chat box because it's kind of less important. We've got Ash has taken a significant amount of damage to the right arm, but I'm willing to live with that because the only thing in that right arm really is a hatchet, and we have spare hatchets. And also Ash has a spare hatchet in the left arm, so unless I'm mistaken, losing the right arm would really not be too much of a detriment. But you can tell that there is still a smattering of damage across the torso and the right leg. So maybe want to consider getting her out of there. And I had forgotten last week, but I remembered that she has jump jets, so that could actually come in handy at some point during tonight's stream, depending on how this battle goes. We've got Tsubasa and the Blackjack, who has taken, it looks like a machine gun or a flamer to the left arm, but really nothing else is damaged. Hoser has taken a more significant amount of damage. His right torso rear is bare. Random guy, hey, how's it going? Glad you could join us. Welcome to the party. And Hoser says, ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, that right torso took a punch from an Ostrak or something, or a large laser. I honestly don't remember. The shirt still has not come. No, I've been waiting for it with bated breath. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe the shipping container shortage might have something to do with it. I'm not sure where it's shipping from. But if it's not from somewhere in the US, then definitely anything from overseas is going to have to suffer through some extra. Instead, it should have come last Sunday. That's weird. Last Sunday, and it's Thursday now, so that's like 4 days ago. The Sunday before last Sunday? Am I the victim of porch pirates? Tight corridors, urban environments, combat vehicles abound. Try not to get Grozny'd. Grozny'd, is that? I don't. Who's Grozny and what happened to him? What do I need to be watching out for? Grozny is a city in Chechnya. Okay. So tight corridors, urban environment, combat vehicles abound, I assume. The Russians drove a bunch of tanks into it and they got ambushed. Okay, yeah. As you can tell from the map, things are pretty tight and tense in here. We've got Hoser and Stiletto up here on the north end of the battle. We've got Ash and Adangato at the southern end of the battle. Warwolf over here kind of to the left, all on his own. Versus this Ostrak and a Thumper. We've got another Ostrak here and a Phoenix Hawk. We've got a Hunchback and a Shadowhawk. We have a Whitworth up here who has gone prone. So yeah, we do have reinforcements coming in about 2 to 3 turns, depending on how you count it. Okay, we have some reinforcements coming in 5 turns, but we have other reinforcements coming in 2 turns. I will try to be aware and not get Grozny'd. Let's see. Other than the Archer and the Awesome, the Cronus has taken, looks like, about a medium laser to the left arm. If I make a military reference and no one got me, at least I know random guy got me. I apologize again and as usual for my ignorance. There is a whole wide world out there and I grew up sheltered. Let me just put it that way. The Stalker appears to still be pretty much unscathed. It looks like you take 3 points of damage to the leg. Was that a medium laser and a machine gun and it's just not turning colors yet? That's the only thing I can think of. And then, of course, we've got the Blackjack, which took, I think it was a machine gun or a flamer to the left arm. So the question is, what is our next move? I want to make sure that Hoser doesn't get boxed in, although it really looks like he's got nowhere to go at this point. I'm hoping that the Whitworth or the Shadowhawk does something that gets them out of his line of movement so that he can try to get maybe some kind of target movement modifier now that his heat's gone down. Let's see. Who do we move first? Question, I guess, becomes who has moved, and that looks like just the Warhammer has moved. So do we take advantage of that? Ash is a bit hurt, but the Warhammer is hurt even worse. I feel like if they went toe-to-toe, Ash would probably come out on top. The Warhammer has very little armor left. He's internal on 3 locations, stripped on a total of 5, it looks like, with 1 point of armor on his left torso rear. If we can get to that left torso rear, how tall is this building? That is a height of 3, so we could actually get into his back with these jump jets that I forgot that we had last week. It's a short jump. It would give us a targeting penalty of 3 when a movement mod of only +1. The machine gun turret at least would not be able to hurt us. The flamer turret, I believe, would. He's on a height 9, height 8, height 3. So actually he might not be able to see us. So we might be basically immune to damage if we jump there. So the movement mod is less important, I think, than the targeting mod. Yeah, I think that's going to be our first move. And then we've got the Phoenix Hawk trying to capitalize on that. Now, where is this Phoenix Hawk hurt exactly? Is he hurt in the back or the front? He's more hurt in the front, but he's still weaker in the back. So I'm thinking Tsubasa might be able to get in the back of that Phoenix Hawk. We've got a Congo line of death, folks. That is what is forming up. We've got the Warhammer in the front. We've got Ash behind him. We've got the Phoenix Hawk behind her. And we've got Tsubasa behind the Phoenix Hawk. All we need now is the Ostrak to try to get behind Tsubasa, and we'll be 5 deep. Okay, the Whitworth did move. He ran for 2 hexes. There is this Hunchback here that hasn't moved yet, so I'm a little hesitant to move Hoser just yet. I'd like to see which way that Hunchback ends up facing, and hopefully maybe we could not be in front of it. Is that a 4G is the question. The autocannon 20 and 2 medium lasers. Yeah, that is the 4G Hunchback. We've got a damaged thumper here. We've got a fresh thumper here. Let me get some stats on him. He did cruise 1 hex. This guy would really like to stay on his left side if we could. Is it time for Warwolf to stay still? We'd have left side shots on the damaged one and rear shots on the undamaged one. And he's still in relatively fresh condition. The Ostrak might come around and try to do something, but I think maybe we could get a double kill on those 2 thumpers if we just stay where we're at. Okay, the Hunchback has moved, ran 5 hexes to take himself out of the fight, it appears. Hoser. Oh, that is really tempting. Hunchbacks are never 4Gs until it's a situation where you wish it wasn't a 4G. That is absolutely true. But honestly, most Hunchbacks, in my opinion, have that 369 range profile. The only exceptions being, what is it, the H and the J with the LRMs and the autocannon 10. Or the autocannon 5 and LRMs and the autocannon 10. The G has the autocannon 20. The SP has medium lasers and SRMs, which follow that 369 profile. And then there's the one with the 8 medium lasers. The designation fails to come to me at the moment. But at a range of, looks like 5 hexes, we definitely have the advantage over him. We're not at all evasive, whereas he does have that target movement mod of 2, but he also ran. Yeah, I think this is advantageous. And finally, Stiletto, who I think... What's the 134 is the construction factor of that building, so we don't have to worry about getting shot out from under us. That would put us at 6 heat, which leaves us at 8. Which leaves us with 8, excuse me, which would be enough to fire all of the short range stuff and put us at 4 heat. Yeah, I like that move. Whitworth needs a 4 to stand up, gets a 7, so that's successful. The Thumper has fired and hit some buildings and terrain, no big deal. Let me start by shooting at this Hunchback, who is apparently shooting at Ash, who only has a target movement mod of 1, and he needs 9s. So that's about a 1 in 4 chance of hitting. It's worrisome, especially with such a powerful gun, but it could be worse. It really could. Even an 8 would be a big deal compared to a 9. And we've got 3s on him, so we'll take 1, 2, 3 of those. Actually, do we want to do that? We've got a Shadowhawk behind us. And a Whitworth in front of us. Let's see, if we torso twist to the left, we'd be able to punch the Shadowhawk with our left hand. Or if we keep the medium lasers out of action this turn, we'd be able to kick the Whitworth. And I think kicking the Whitworth, he's still fresh on those legs, but we've got a very powerful kick. He would be able to withstand those kicks. Whereas the Shadowhawk is fresh, so he would also be able to withstand a punch if we delivered that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for the kick. We're going to hit the Hunchback with PPCs. Yeah, all 3 PPCs and the large laser. That leaves us with 2 heat, and it leaves our legs free for kicking the Whitworth. And then we'll move into Stiletto, who has back shots on the Hunchback, on 8s admittedly because of the jump, but that leaves us at 4 heat and back shots on a Hunchback, which has notoriously thin armor on the back. Whitworth is a mech I don't hear too often about. I'll hear about all too often, strange enough, I feel. I feel like we hear about Whitworths fairly regularly, or at least I feel like I do. You can use 1 set of leg lasers and still kick, right? I believe so. I believe you only need to leave 1 leg free, but yeah, I forewent that and went with the large laser instead. Because I wasn't thinking straight, I guess. What can I say? I got started early today. I use Whitworths a lot in Rogue Tech if they show up. I like them. I agree, for a 40 tonner, those 2 LRM-10s pack quite a punch. Well, on your stream is the most I hear about them. I never hear them come up in outside conversation or talks about good, back, iconic, etc. Max. Yeah, I feel like they're kind of just like a staple without being a standout. I mean, they're they're not a great mech for a 40 tonner, but they're not a bad mech for a 40 tonner either. It is a 40 tonner, right? I want to say it's a 40 tonner. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I feel like it compares favorably to like the Assassin or the Clint, which use their tonnage poorly. What other 40-ton mechs are out there? The Cicada obviously uses its tonnage poorly with that massive engine. It's a solid 40 tonner. It's not as fast as most 40 tonners are. It's got more of that medium to heavy kind of movement profile. But for having that movement profile, I would say it hits pretty hard for its class. It's like a mini catapult. Yeah, I agree. It's like 2/3 the size, but it has 2/3 of the LRMs. And it also packs a couple of medium lasers. So yeah, that's actually a very good comparison, I would say. The Whitworth to the catapult. It's just like scaled down a bit. Alright, Tsubasa came here to get into the back of this Phoenix Hawk on, oh man, 13s. Oh, because we've lost a shoulder actuator. Wait, Tsubasa, that must have been a through armor crit that I had forgotten about, because that left arm still has plenty of armor. But we've got a shoulder crit and the laser is critted. But that still gives us 9s with the right arm and the other lasers. Cat climb in the background? No, she was clawing at the couch. But yeah, it's good to know you guys can hear that. Alright, so this thumper has how much armor on its left side exactly? Can take 8 points of damage before it's dead. So I'm thinking 2 large lasers and 2 medium lasers. Is that how I want to play it? Either one of the large lasers would kill it. Not here, see the furniture. The furniture right behind you, I literally just watched her claw yeah, she does like to climb the couch. And she usually claws it for a moment or two before she, as you say, shimmies up it. And then on this thumper, which is still fresh, yeah, the rear is still definitely where we want to hit it at 34. Stream highlight cat every time. Yes, the cats steal the show from me every time. So we've got the 2 large lasers into the left side of this thumper. And we're going to do everything else into the back of this thumper. And on 5s, even with the secondary movement, or the secondary target mod, we'll throw in an LRM on 11s just because we have the heat capacity and I'm not worried about ammo. And that'll leave us completely heat neutral. And hopefully we can get the double kill. Ash has shots on the back of the Warhammer, only on 9s, which is less than fantastic, but we're hoping for at least a couple of hits into his back, which, let me just double check. Yeah, unless they both hit his center torso. Even if they both hit his center torso, we're going internal. If we hit the left or right torso, we're going internal. Whereas on the front, if we hit his center torso, we've only taken out about half of his armor. Alright, the Phoenix Hawk at Ash hitting that damaged right arm with a medium laser and a machine gun to the left torso rear. But no crits, fortunately. The Hunchback missing on a 9, barely, needs a 9, gets an 8. Also landing 2 medium lasers. She has lost her damn mind. Hoser, firing 2 PPCs at the Hunchback, hitting the right arm and the center torso, and the large laser to the right leg. So he's taken a significant amount of damage. He's going to need to make a piloting skill check because he's taken more than 20 damage. But his armor is still pretty strong. The machine gun turret at the Blackjack missing. The Cronus at the Hunchback hitting the left leg and the left arm. Only landing one SRM on that center torso rear. The other's going to the left arm and left leg as well. Need to practice on targeting one location. Yeah. Called shots, unfortunately, are not so much of a thing in the tabletop as they are in HBS. I really would be nice if we had, what's it called? Precision strike. Thumper firing 2 machine guns at the Stalker. Called shots are provided you decide to turn the rules on for them, dingus. I understand that it is a thing that some people play with, but it's not what I consider part of the canon rule set, and so it's not something I consider myself to be allowed to use. I could turn them on if I wanted to, but I am trying to play as close to the base rule set as possible. There are some exceptions, like I do have optional rules for starting fires and accidental fires. Edge obviously is an optional rule. There are a few things that I have tweaked to make it a more enjoyable experience, provided they do a pretty serious targeting penalty, if I recall. I think it's a +4. I'm not sure about that. And I know that targeting computers make it possible with a lesser penalty. But again, that's not a part of the rule set that I prefer to play with. And partly, not just because I'm trying to stay true to a tabletop experience, but also because I don't feel like Princess would take advantage of those optional rules. And so I'm not trying to have an unfair advantage over the computer. I don't mind having a fair advantage over the computer, but an unfair advantage is where I draw the line. And since she doesn't use rules like called shots and careful stand, and she tends to not use good judgment when it comes to backing up over elevation changes. Now, backing up over elevation changes is one optional rule that I do use, that even though Princess isn't good at using it. But that's just because, to me, if I were playing tabletop, that is a rule that I would use. It doesn't slow the game down any. It opens up an option for your players that I think should logically be an option. Honestly, I don't know why the base rule set says you can't do it at all. Oh wow, this Ostrak is just laying into Ash's center torso rear with a large laser and a medium going internal. But yeah, that's that's my digression into optional rules. I'm trying to keep this as much of a tabletop-like experience as possible, while still expanding the options in ways that I feel like are logical, and also including some optional rules that I would use in tabletop, except that with that many dice rolls, they do slow the game down significantly, like the optional fires. The game runs, I feel like, slow enough in tabletop already without rolling extra dice for every time you miss, just to see if you start a fire. So that's one that I use for that reason. Thumper landing a couple of machine guns on Hoser to the left arm and center torso. Stalker landing a large laser to the Thumper's left side, destroying it. Landing 3 medium lasers to the Thumper's rear, leaving it with 13 armor, and the 4th one to the right side. LRM missing, the first SRM missing. The second SR I'm hitting with 4 of them to the rear and right side and left side, immobilizing it twice. The Shadowhawk, landing an autocannon 5 on Hoser's left leg and following that with a medium laser, leaving him with 10 armor on his left leg. Question for everyone, is anyone doing Solaris in the MegaMek Discord? It looks interesting. I was actually just in the MegaMek Discord, and I don't remember seeing anything about that. You sign up and do online gladiator stuff. It sounds interesting. I don't know if I would be able to do it with the scheduling. That would be my main concern, would be finding time to be able to do it. But MegaMek Solaris tournaments does sound extremely interesting and fun. And if anyone else is doing it, I'd love to hear about it. It's in Solar 7. Interesting. Think they might need to invite you. I want to try it. Yeah, depending on when and how they're doing it exactly. Are they using just the base rules? Or are they using any optional rules? She has the zoomies. Okay, Ash landing 2 medium lasers on the Warhammer to the left arm and right torso rear, which is about what I was hoping for. Ash needs a 4 to stay standing, gets it. Hunchback needs a 9 to stay standing and does not get it. Takes 5 to the left arm, takes his first point of pilot damage. The Phoenix Hawk also falling on his center torso and taking his first piloting damage. They have some document they sent. Interesting. I will make sure and check that out as soon as I'm done streaming tonight. Yes, we're going to kick the Phoenix Hawk while he's down on a 7. We're going to kick the Whitworth on a 3. And we're going to kick this immobile Whitworth on a -2. Hunchback taking the Lark maneuver, I see. Indeed. And it's funny because Lark had previously been piloting a Hunchback, which did it take a gyro hit? Or was its leg destroyed? Because I remember he spent like an entire battle prone. The only option Ash has for melee, it looks like, is the machine gun turret that she's in the same hex as. Boat Fixer, how's it going? Kicking everything? Yes, the Duke Nukem strategy. Yeah, we're kicking a Whitworth, a Thumper, and a Phoenix Hawk while they're down. Stiletto is not going to kick the building that she's standing on. Alright, so the Blackjack kicks the Phoenix Hawk in the left leg for 9, leaving him with 6. Awesome kicking the Whitworth in the left leg for 16, leaving him with 2. Stalker kicking the Thumper in the rear and destroying it. And the Whitworth kicking the Awesome in the left leg, leaving him with 2 armor. Hoser needs a 4 to stay standing and gets a 3, takes 8 damage to the left arm and left leg, which crits his hip. Oh, this is just a comedy of errors. He needs a 4 to stay standing, rolls a 3. Needs a 4 to avoid pilot damage, rolls a 3. Needs a 3 to stay conscious, rolls a 2. Never stand up when you can sit down, and never sit down when you can lie down. A mech warrior, probably. Hoser, after rolling 2 3s and a 2, is no longer conscious. Oh, wait. We used Edge. We used Edge for a reroll. He rolls a 9. He's not unconscious. Oh, man. That is exactly why we have Edge. I was worried there for a second. I really was, but you're still prone with a hip hit, so standing up is going to be problematic. The Whitworth stays standing, and the Shadowhawk, who missed a kick, also stays standing. Of our team, the Cronus is at 4, the Awesome is at 2 heat. The Ostrox are at 6 and 7 heat, respectively. The Hunchback is at 4. The Phoenix Hawk is up to 9 heat. So he is taking movement and targeting penalties. Hoser was knocked cold, but thankfully the way he fell happened to land and crush open conveniently placed smelling smalts. I'll buy that. Yeah, that's canon now. He landed on the medikit and busted open the smelling salts and immediately came to. But he is still injured. So we've lost just over 6% of our forces. The artillery garrison has lost 75% of theirs. The primary op 4 has lost almost 25% of theirs. The remaining Thumper will land in 0 turns. Need to do something about that last Thumper. And just a reminder, our objective is to destroy 75% of all enemy units, including the turrets. So that was what? 3 turrets, I want to say. No. 4 turrets, because there's a machine gun turret in addition to... Yeah, there's 4 turrets on the field. There were 4 Thumpers, so that's 8. And I believe 2 lances of enemy units. So we need to get them down to 4 units in total. And that's going to be the 4 turrets, because we're trying to keep this base operational so that we can take control of it. So we literally need to kill everything on the field except for the turrets to get the outcome that we're hoping for. And we're on... What turn are we on? Is it 4 or 5? Oh. We are on round 4, so reinforcements at the beginning of next turn, it looks like. Yeah. Hoser, I think I'd like to save your move for last. Just so that I can try to get you into the most advantageous position possible, because actually, no, you're gonna have one option as far as well, one choice. I assume you're going to stand up so that you're not prone, because prone sucks. So after you stand up, you have the option to either move into this hex or not, basically. So is that something that we want? Is that a choice that we want to make now, or do we want to delay that choice? See, Ostrox don't have jump jets. This Ostroc is pretty fresh. This Ostroc is not. Wanted to try the Lark maneuver, everyone else was doing it. Alright, might be time to start regrouping and maybe fall back tactically a little bit. Yeah, let's try to reinforce where we're at. We'll have Ash move there. At this point, I'm trying to think more tactically than just trying to go for the best mods. I'm trying to like actually pull my forces together. Hoser with his busted hip on a run needs a 6 because of that +2 modifier. delay and see what the Whitworth and the Shadowhawk do. The entire Ost series of mechs are some of the goofiest looking. Oh, they absolutely are so goofy looking. Especially the Ost Scout. It's so ridiculous. Yeah, I'll decide. I'll see if we can. Oh, that Hunchback. No, we need to get out of that line of sight of the Hunchback. If that Shadowhawk moves into this hex, we're screwed. We need the 6. Oh, but we fell because we ran. We would be able to get shots on this Ostrak over that height 1 building. He would have partial cover. We'd be able to de-arm him with a little luck. Might get into his left torso. Yeah, oh man, I would love to have Warwolf in the back of that Hunchback, but I don't see it happening this turn. Stiletto, on the other hand, alright, the Hunchback needs a 7 to get up, makes a 9. The Phoenix Hawk needs a 9 to stand up with a damaged gyro. I think we damaged the Phoenix Hawk's gyro. Did I miss that? He fails to get up, takes 5 to the left leg, needs a 9 to avoid damage, takes his second point, or makes his second consciousness check, and only gets a 4. So the Phoenix Hawk is unconscious from trying to stand up. Hoser needs a 6, gets a 6, so that's lucky. And then needs a 6 because he ran with a damaged hip, gets a 5. Takes 8 damage all to the right arm. Needs a 6 to avoid hurting the pilot, gets a 10. At least he landed in such a way that he's still facing the enemies. Thumper hitting a bunch of buildings. Also is going to need some piloting practice. If I'm not mistaken, did Hoser just spend XP, or is he coming up on being able to spend XP? I can actually check on that real quick. How much XP does Hoser have? And also, okay, that's fine, because he's not in a TONE right now. Hoser has 16 XP. That is 4 away. Well, 3 after this deployment. So he needs 3 kills in order to improve his piloting, which, I mean, considering that he already has a pretty good gunnery skill, is definitely the move that I would make. Not that I'm trying to tell you how to spend your XP, but that's just, you know, how I would play it. Alright, so this Ostrak is about to feel the combined fury of Warwolf and Stiletto, both unleashing pretty much everything on him. Even on 12s, we'll go up to 2 heat on a 12, yeah. Oh, hold on, is that the Hunchback must be firing 1 medium laser. I forgot we had put Stiletto here so that we can get into the back of the Hunchback. On 7s, which is significantly better than the 9s we had. It was 9s, right? But we're running hot. I think, are we running too hot to fire everything? Well, not everything, obviously. We're not using the large laser, but I mean all of the short range stuff. But we'll go up to 5 heat. We'll take a cooldown turn next turn. move I would make is a nuke. Because of course you would, Lark. Tsubasa's only target is the Shadowhawk, and that on 12s and 8s and 10s. Take the 12 for 2 heat. Yeah, with that other large laser out of, yeah, with the shoulder hit and the medium laser out of commission, this thing runs cool enough that we can fire pretty much everything, even with the damage targeting on that one large laser. Hoser on the Shadowhawk. The W of my middle name stands for WMD. The Whitworth on 7s, or the Shadowhawk on 7s. What kind of shape is this Whitworth in? Whitworth has taken a bit of a beating. He's still strong in the center torso, but wouldn't take much to de-arm him on either side, or de-leg him, if we get a little lucky. View was what I wanted. We're going to target the Whitworth. Okay, why am I not getting target numbers here? Okay, so we've got 7s, even while prone. That is pretty impressive. We're not going to be able to fire the leg lasers because we are prone. Do we go up to 5 heat and take the movement penalty? No, I don't think we can afford to do that because that would make us a 1-2. So it would automatically be a run just to try to stand, and then we'd immediately fall again. So we really... I didn't mean to reset that. And the 3 PPCs is all we're going to be able to do. The large laser is a no-go. The medium lasers are a no-go. Where do we want to hit this Phoenix Hawk? We want to hit him, looks like in the left leg. Or the right arm. The right arm is also an option. But if we can leg him, he'll be out for the fight. Whereas if we take out the right arm, his primary weapons will be gone, but he won't be completely out of the fight. So that's going to be a left leg is where we're going for. On 6s with all these medium lasers. Right back, food is ready. All right, well, we'll see when you get back. Looking forward to it. Enjoy your food. So speaking of, Warwolf lands a large laser on the Ostrok's head, forcing his first consciousness check. Medium laser glancing off the left arm and right torso. Glancing off the left torso. SRM 6 glancing off the right and left torso, leaving him with 0 armor on the left torso. So that was not quite what I was hoping for. The large laser was a definite plus, but everything else just glancing off of the left and right torso, basically. The Hunchback firing a medium laser at the Cronus, landing a hit on the center torso. The Cronus landing 2 medium lasers on the Hunchback's to the left Hunchback's left leg and head, forcing his second consciousness check, which he barely makes. And then 3 SRMs to the right leg and left arm, stripping the left arm down to 0. The Ostrok at the Stalker, landing a medium laser to the right torso. The other Ostrok at the Archer, landing a medium laser to the right leg, leaving him with 11 armor. The Whitworth on the Awesome, landing 3 medium lasers to the right torso, right leg, leaving him with 5 armor on that right torso. Hoser is suddenly in a significant amount of trouble. But he missed with the LRM-10 at least. Adangato missing on 8s and 10s and 12s with everything. Shadowhawk landing a medium laser on Hoser's right leg and an SRM to the right arm. leaving us with 4 armor on that right leg. Hoser, landing a PPC on the Whitworth's head, going internal but not getting the crit, forcing his first consciousness check, which again he barely makes. Needs a 3, gets a 3. Oh, landing, excuse me, 2 PPCs on the Whitworth's head. The Whitworth is no longer a threat. Hot dogs requisitioned. Hoser was angry. Indeed. You shoot some medium lasers at me, I shoot you with PPCs. We'll see who comes out on top. Headshot indeed. Double headshots. The odds of that. The odds of that are insanely small. 2 out of 3 each hit about 3% shot. I don't know how to calculate that in my head, but it's got to be like 1 in 1,000. Because you're looking at 1 in 36 times 36, maybe divided by 3. I don't know. But still, yeah. That's impressive. Twin PPC headshots. That's the kind of stuff I'm expecting to see in HBS, not MegaMek. What die does BattleTech use again? D6s. Pretty much everything in BattleTech is 2d6. And to hit the head, you need Snake Eyes on 2d6, which is a 1 in 36 chance. And he just did that 2 out of 3 times. The fact that they are entirely independent of each other means we simply multiply each roll's probability together. 1 in 6 times 1 in 6 times 1 in 6 times 1 in 6 equals 1 in 6 to the times to the 4th. But then there's also the one that didn't hit the head that you have to calculate. So 2d6, so that's... Oh yeah, you're right. Boxcars, not Snake Eyes. Yeah, Snake Eyes is the floating crit. Boxcars is the headshot. But the odds are the same. And yeah, it's rolling 4 6s on 4 dice is 1 in 1,000. But rolling 4 6s out of 6 dice, I couldn't tell you. But yeah, that was a long odds hit. I'm impressed. I don't usually get that lucky with the dice, even in MegaMek. Good shooting, Hoser. I'm okay with those as long as I'm the shooter and not the shoot-e. Indeed, indeed. Let's see. Ash shooting medium lasers at the prone and immobile Phoenix Hawk, hitting the left arm, right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg destroyed, transferring into the left torso, right leg down to 0 armor, right torso. And good salvage. Yeah. Put that next to the, I think it was the Wolverine that we also had capped last week during the same mission. So yeah, we're definitely looking at some solid salvage for this mission, because I think we're, correct me if I'm wrong, we're like 80% salvage for this contract. Yeah, we're going to be able to take all of this stuff and still get compensated for what we didn't take. Indeed. And then the Thumper landing a machine gun on the Cronus's left arm. Nobody who is standing took 20 points of damage, so there are no piloting skill checks. Tsubasa and Warwolf and Ash and Stiletto. Stiletto is actually going to go for, is it a punch? We should have both arms free. Yeah, let's go for punches into that rear punch table. Or do we go for the kick? What kind of shape is this guy in? A punch would deal 6 points of damage, so that would go internal. 2 chances. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go... We might miss with both of them. We might hit with both and hit him in the arms or something, but... Oh, yeah, we missed with both of them, unfortunately. And the Shadowhawk kicks Hoser in the left arm for 11 points, leaving him with one armor. Not one structure. All of our people are, well, not exactly running cool. The Blackjack and the Stalker are at 2 heat, the Cronus is at 5. However, both of the Ostrox are at 7, and the Phoenix Hawk still hasn't cooled all the way down, even though he did absolutely nothing this turn. We have won the initiative, so we get the last move. We're at 92, almost 93%. Silent Endus, hey, how's it going? Glad you could join us. Welcome to the party. You've taken a bit of a beating. Miss, get Falcon punched. What'd I miss? We're currently at 93%, which honestly is lower than I like to be. I like to finish missions at 95% or above. I don't like losing 5% of my forces. But the enemy artillery garrison has lost 3 of 4 of their thumpers. The primary Op 4 has lost almost 50% of their forces. You've been... wait, Ash. Ash. Wait, silent. Yeah. Varank, from his position here, prone on the ground with a busted hip, just double headshotted a Whitworth, completely destroying it. Let's see, awful lack of Urbies for an urban combat scenario? Indeed. Silent Endus, remind me, were you Ash or were you Stiletto? I apologize and I can't remember, but this is the point where I need to start limiting the number of people that I allow into the game, because I honestly have a hard time keeping track of so many call signs. Ash, you've taken quite a beating. Your right arm has gone internal, but other than that, you're still in decent shape. I started falling back because we were about to get reinforcements, but yeah, the enemies are in worse shape than we are, by far. Let me see. We've knocked this Phoenix Hawk immobile and prone, these 2 Ostrox. One of them is damaged, the other one not so much. The Whitworth is dead, the Wolverine is dead. This Hunchback has been getting shot in the back by Stiletto. Less effectively than I would have liked, but that's what happens when you're jumping around. You were engaging a Warhammer, which is, I guess, still over here. But you were definitely getting the better of him, mainly because you were getting back shots on him. Oh, it is our turn to deploy, and we're deploying on the edge. I thought we were deploying on the south. Oh, this opens up some options. So we've got a Guillotine, a Thunderbolt, a Rifleman, and a Marauder, the Scarponi, all deploying this turn. I think I want Scarponi deploying here to engage that Warhammer, which honestly I would have forgotten about if you hadn't shown up, so I appreciate that. Oh, the Warhammer is prone. Why is the Warhammer prone? Did we bust his leg or something? Oh, did we bust his leg? He's got a busted foot. Alright, the Rifleman Mark II, which is just a double heatsink refit kit. I'm thinking the Rifleman can come up here and engage this Ostrock maybe? Or do we come down from the top and engage the Ostrock? The Warhammer's Pro and Matt Ward probably just did something. Matt Ward. Why does that name sound familiar? Cannot place it though. I'm thinking the Guillotine can run in and maybe start engaging this Shadowhawk. And lastly, the Thunderbolt can run up this way and engage this Ostrak. Oh, things just got super interesting. And then we also have more in reinforcements arriving in 3 more turns. Warhammer 40k, right. I actually never played Warhammer 40k. I'm only familiar with it mainly by reputation. Like I've seen it around and I've watched some people playing it, but I've never actually played it myself. I don't have an army or anything like that. Alright, Brelon. Come up here and mess this Warhammer up. You are a close range specialist with that SRM and the medium lasers. Oh, and our allies have also just arrived. Personally, I'm mostly seeing YouTube videos on it. Yeah, same. It was what was the name of the channel? I think it was Miniature Wargaming, MWG. Their icon was, or their logo was like 3 sides of a die, and I want to say the letters on it were MWG. I think it was Miniature Wargaming was the name of the channel. But yeah, I watched a fair amount of that. It's been a little while, but I did. Did anyone arrive with a mech that has hands so they can help Hoser up? Let's see. The Guillotine does not have hands. The Rifleman does not have hands. The Thunderbolt has hands. The Thunderbolt would like to wait for this Ostrak to go, however. So yeah, Hoser with his busted hip. Hoser is in really rough shape and does not want to turn his back to anyone. Do we just stand? I don't want to try and run and fall again, but 2 movement points is not a lot. We still need the 6 just to get up. If we fail, we don't get another chance until next turn. Let's wait and see what the Hunchback does first. Let's see, this Phoenix Hawk is on a height 2 building. We'd be jumping onto a height 4 building, so we'd be shooting down on his back. He's already missing his leg. We can take out his right arm. We'd be awfully close to that machine gun turret. But the worst that would happen is we'd lose the right arm. Warwolf. We'll come into melee range with this Ostrak, I think. Try to finish him off. The Hunchback has moved. And the Hunchback does not have LOS to where Hoser is now. So yes, we are going to get up on a 6. Oh hey, I think I know why I missed a few streams. Hey, how's it going? So pray tell, why did you miss a few streams? If you just figured it out, enlighten me, because I have no idea. But I had missed you. I'd noticed that it's been a while since I had seen you. Welcome back, by the way. It's no problem on your side. Okay. Well, that implies that there's a problem on your side, which makes me even more anxious to hear what it is. Thank you for the VODs as usual. Okay, I try. We were just talking about some 40k. Snyder says, I played 40k probably 20 years ago. More into skirmish level games now just because I don't have time to paint whole armies anymore. Recently turned off smart notifications. I see. Okay. Well, can always get caught up on YouTube. But we're happy to have you back. I don't know. With the current environment, we could do for a dose of carpet bombing. If we didn't catch you, Stiletto, and Hoser in the middle of it, yeah, this has really turned into a grand melee. Not to slow down the current pace of the stream too much, I'll ask but one question. Did I die? No, you are actually in pretty good shape right now. You've taken like a machine gun to the arm. It went internal, or it didn't go internal, but it got a through armor crit. It hit your shoulder and the medium laser in that arm. So your firepower is somewhat diminished, but other than that, you are in really good shape, especially compared to the rest of the lance. Hoser's got a busted hip. This hunchback is being an issue. I think, yeah, even Warwolf Stalker has taken more damage. But our reinforcements have just arrived. Speaking of which, this Thunderbolt now has... Can we not get eyes on the Ostrak? Oh, we can't get eyes on the Ostrak. Need an awesome sized wheelchair. We'll get you fixed up, don't worry about it. So let's see. Still to move, we have the Blackjack, we've got the Cronus, and we've got the Thunderbolt. The Thunderbolt we might as well move now. Actually, Thunderbolt is not going to have a target this turn, so we might as well move at a run, but I'm not trying to make a piloting skill check. Stiletto. Let's see, this Ostrak, remind me, he was damaged in the front, but he's not too well off in the back either. Of course, we could always go back for this Hunchback. Yeah, let's do that. We'll jump into the back of this Hunchback like we had been doing. Is this where Hoser cops 2 machine guns to the head from the Thumper? I really hope not. I'm trying to reinforce as much as I can into his area. Let's see, that is a height 2 building. We're on a height 6 building with a height 8 building intervening. There's no way to get eyes on him without jumping, so we might as well jump into immediate range. Thumper misses and scatters. Buildings take damage. Nothing exciting there. Ash was going to shoot out the right arm of this Phoenix Hawk as much as possible. On 3s, we're probably going to destroy it. The arm, I mean, not the Phoenix Hawk as a whole. Tsubasa firing at the Ostrak. I was thinking about something earlier, Russian bro. I was considering changing your call sign to Russian bro to make it easier to keep track, because like I had mentioned a minute ago, there's a lot of people involved in the game now, and I do have trouble keeping them straight at this point. So that would be helpful to me. So if you're okay with that, all right, I will do that. In the meantime, we're going to shoot into the back of this Ostrak, and we're going to, let's see, 16 plus 5 plus 9 puts us at 4, I want to say. Let me just check the heat. That's 10 and 6 and 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's 4 heat. That's completely doable. Hoser really only has one target, and that is this Thumper in the front with 2 machine guns firing directly at us. And that's going to be... Oh wait, we're standing now. We're standing now. So it's going to be 2 medium lasers instead of the large, I think. And we'll keep one leg free for kicking. Warwolf into this Ostrak, firing practically everything because that's what the Stalker does, putting us at 3 heat. Stiletto into the back of this Hunchback on 6s. Oh wait, not the large. 2 mediums and the SRM, leaving us at 3 heat. Guillotine at the Thumper on 9s, or the Hunchback also on 9s. Not quite in range of the mediums or the SRMs. Thunderbolt sadly hasn't got any targets at all. Rifleman likewise. Scarponi, however. We've got 9s, but that's mainly because of minimum range, but we've got double heat sinks, so we can go ahead and unleash everything. And leaving us at 2 heat on this Warhammer. Oh, I saw his icon changed. I didn't see prone, but... Alright, Thumper landing a machine guns... 2 machine guns on Hoser's left arm, both of them going internal but not critting. Ash on the Phoenix Hawk, hitting him in the head, making it more difficult for him to stand up. He's going to need 7s now instead of 5s. Landing medium lasers to the left torso rear, and the right torso rear, and the right arm, and the right torso rear again. Destroying the right arm, transferring into the right torso rear. And then destroying the right torso rear and transferring into the center torso rear. Russian Bro landing a large laser glancing off the Ostrak's left leg, following that with a medium laser glancing off that same leg, and another one solid hit to the right leg, and I'm glancing off the center torso rear. Hoser landing 2 PPCs on... or 3 PPCs on the Thumper to the left side and 2 to the front, immobilizing it. 2 medium lasers, or 1 medium laser also to the front. Man, Hoser, you are just... You're soaking up all the bad luck with all the 2s and 3s that you've been rolling. I'm just glad that those rolls are... those terrible 2 and 3 rolls are going in a place where I can afford them. Hunchback isn't having much luck. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. Needs a 5, gets a 4. I got 2 headshots, it's just evening out. Yeah. I also feel like luck has a way of averaging itself. The Speedy Stalker sidesteps the 210mm shell, I guess. Needs a 5, gets a 4. Does land 2 medium lasers to the right arm and the left leg, but it could have been much, much worse. As a matter of fact, it was likely to be much, much worse. The Warhammer firing at Scarponi, missing on 10s and 7s. Lark and his Stalker landing a glancing blow on the Ostrak's center torso, missing with the second large. All 4 medium lasers hit to the left torso, center torso. Wow, 2 each to the left and center torso. Going internal, critting on a large laser. The LRM misses, which is fine and expected. Landing 4 SRMs to the left arm, left torso, left leg, and right arm. Critting on the same large laser, as well as the hand and upper arm. So he's going to be less effective at punching now, at least. The Ostrak returning fire with a large laser and 2 mediums to the left torso and right leg of the Stalker. That left torso down to 14 armor. Cronus on the Hunchback from the rear, critting out that autocannon 20 with a medium laser. So that is fortunate. And then 2 SRMs to the center and left torso rears. Another Ostrak firing at Ash and missing on 9s. The Shadowhawk landing an autocannon 5 and a medium laser to Hoser's left arm, blowing off his battle fist. So that's unfortunate, but at least we won't have to replace the PPC. And an SRM to the center torso. Would have been the head, costing him his last point of edge, going to the center torso instead. And then the LRM 5 on a 9 gets a 10, 5 missiles to the left torso, transferring in from that left arm. Okay, so Hoser's ride is pretty dinged up at this point. I know, that's an understatement. Guillotine missing on 9, machine gun turret hitting Ash's right arm and the left leg twice. Allied Griffin missing the Shadowhawk. Scarponi missing both PPCs on 9s, only landing 2 medium lasers on 6s to the center torso and right arm. 5 SRMs to the center torso, right arm, left torso, right torso destroyed, blowing off his right arm. That's also his SRM, half of his medium lasers, half of his small lasers, half of his machine guns, I believe, because this is a 6R. And the SRMs all taken out with one, well, I was going to say with one shot, but it's honestly an accumulation. Hoser taking 20 plus damage, needs a 7 to stay standing, takes 8 from the fall, 5 of that to the head. So Hoser now has to make his second consciousness check, which he does make. Lark also falling, needing a 5, getting a 4, taking all 9 to the right leg, but avoiding pilot damage at least. Needs to turn the strong side towards that Shadowhawk. Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. You've got a busted hip, you're missing an arm, you're down to 4 armor on your head, and you made your second consciousness check. Pretty rough shape. The Ostrak and the Warhammer will also both stay standing. On the ground, it doesn't matter. True. Alright. We're going to try and kick this Ostrak on a 6. We're going to... Can we try to hatchet the Ostrak? No, we can't. We also can't hatchet the Phoenix Hawk. The only option we have is this machine gun turret, I guess, or the building that we're on. What is our option? Why are we being given the option to melee? I don't see any options. We're not going to be punching or kicking buildings. We are going to be kicking this Warhammer on a 5. Alright, this is more of a report for melee than I'm used to. Alright, the Blackjack kicking the Ostrak in the left leg for 9. He's got 5 armor left. The Ostrak kicking the Stalker in the arm for 12, leaving him with 12. The Warhammer kicking the Marauder for 14. The Griffin kicking the Shadowhawk for 11 to the left leg. The Shadowhawk missing his punch on the Griffin. The Marauder kicking the Warhammer in the right leg for 15, leaving him with 0 armor. The Marauder was kicked, needs a 5, gets an 11. The Ostrak was kicked, needs a 6, gets a 7. Warhammer needs a 4, gets a 7. even with a busted foot actuator. Jeez, he's actually one of their better pilots, because I remember almost all their pilots were green or worse. But he's apparently a veteran. And the Shadowhawk, because he was kicked, needs a 6, gets a 6. Oh, the Phoenix Hawk pilot finally wakes up. Blackjack is at 4 heat. Awesome is at 0. Stalker's at 3. Archer's at 0. Cronus is at 3. Guillotine and Thunderbolt and Rifleman all at 0. Marauder is at 2. Their Ostroks are at 2 and 7 heat. The Warhammer is at 2. Hunchback is at 2. Everyone else is at 0. Alright, we have won the initiative, so we will get the last move. We're down to 91% of our forces. The artillery is down to 15% of theirs. Primary Op 4 is down to 41% of theirs. So we have 7 enemies left to kill, since we are trying to keep the turrets alive so that we can capture this base and have artillery on our side for the rest of the contract. Alright. Starting with the guillotine, let's go ahead and advance. We'll advance. We'll hold off on that. Hold off on that. Okay, so I guess maybe we'll have the rifleman, and that is Zero Chew, who is an NPC, one of the few NPCs in the unit. We'll go ahead and occupy this intersection. And since he can torso twist or flip arms, he can control all of the streets around him. The Thunderbolt would like to wait for the Ostrok to go. Scarponi is going to advance on this Warhammer, who might be fleeing. No, he's not in forced withdrawal. He's just falling back. Maybe I should have had the rifleman come this way. I don't know. It's hard to say. Hindsight is not always 20/20. But Ash, who is low on armor, maybe needs to be falling back a bit. I know I had tried to regroup and then immediately spread right out again. Oh, the Phoenix Hawk ejected, so that's cool. Alright, Stiletto would like to wait for the Hunchback to move. Hoser, is it worth trying to get up? I know you say on the ground doesn't matter, but is it worth trying to stand up, or would you rather stay on the ground? Honestly, staying on the ground is probably safer for your pilot. It's also safer against the Shadowhawk, since he's not adjacent. But that Hunchback could easily turn and occupy this hex. What is the number? I believe you need a 6. Let me double check. Yeah. Base 4 plus 2 for the busted actuator. 6s, which is likely, but not guaranteed. Yeah, well, the Hunchback doesn't have his autocannon anymore, so he's actually much less of a threat. It might actually be worth it to stay down. Because then you can't fall down and hurt your pilot anymore. You're harder to hit for the Shadowhawk. The Thumper is going to have an easier time hitting you, but he's got machine guns. The Hunchback might come after you, but he's got medium lasers. So I think what we're going to do... let's see, your right side is your strong side. We'll turn your right side to that Thumper just so that it least that guy is not shooting at your damaged side. Oh, the Hunchback also came into your right arc. Which may have been a mistake. Because now Stiletto can get into his rear arc at a walk. And that is going to mean a bunch of medium lasers and SRMs coming into his rear arc. With high odds to hit. Alright. Lark, do you also like the odds of a 6 for getting up? Because you've got those minimal arms, but then the running and turning shouldn't be a problem. We'll try it, and we'll succeed. Well, we can't jump into his rear arc because that building is too tall. We can get on his right side. But honestly, I'd rather be on his left side. Maybe we can get out a leg. And we've got a Thunderbolt that can get into kicking distance as well. Phoenix Hawk destroyed by ejection. Pilot Chi-Chi C. Or Chi-Chi Ki. One or the other. Ejects. Allied Blackjack needs a 5 for running and turning. Warhammer needs a 6 for sprinting. That Warhammer is really trying to get out of there. Stalker needs a 6, gets a 6, needs a 3, gets a 7. So that was actually closer than I would have liked. I'm sorry, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but there's definitely something in my throat right now. And it's being stubborn. It doesn't want to come out. Alright, the Guillotine, which is piloted by Victor Rama, who is also not one of our PCs. 7s and 9s. We'll go up to 4 heat on 9s. Sure, why not? Who else is going to be shooting at the Hunchback? Oh, can't shoot with the right arm. He's in the arc. Alright, so we're going to be shooting at the Shadowhawk. On 7s. Alright, we've got 4s. Is it time to go all out? 4. Let's see. That's 20 from all the weapons. So that would put us at 24, which is plus 10. I'm going to skip the large laser. I have to do it. That large laser is great at long range, but at close range, it's just not as good as the mediums. It's just too hot. Alright, Thunderbolt. SRM2s are not worth the heat or the tonnage, in my opinion. We've got 10s and 6s. It might be worth skipping the 10. We'll go for the 6s, and that'll be a little cooler than I would like, but the only option other than that is to go super hot on a 10, which I'm not going to do. We've got 6s on the Ostrak here. We'll skip the LRMs since they're not as likely to hit, and we're still running a little hot without them. Ash has, unfortunately, no targets. Our riflemen. And torso twist and hit the Ostrak with, should be pretty much everything, with 5s and 6s, because he's a specialist. You know what? We'll trade the large laser for one of the mediums. We'll build up a little bit of heat. We'll go large, medium, autocannon. And Scarponi will go up to 4 heat by firing everything. 3 heat because he walked. Oh, Gyro dead. I saw that. Wait. Our allied blackjack is trying to collapse a building. No, don't you dare. I want those turrets intact. The guillotine lands a large laser on the hunchback's left arm, destroying it, and a medium laser to the left torso, and 4 SRMs, all to the mostly to the left side. Also hitting the center torso crit, but not getting the effect, and the right torso. Hoser landing PPCs on the Shadowhawk's right arm, and the large laser to the right torso. Cronus at the hunchback to the right leg, landing 1 medium laser also to the left arm, transferring into the left torso rear, medium laser to the right torso rear, critting on that autocannon 20 again, and 2 SRMs to the right arm, leaving him with 2 armor. The allied Phoenix Hawk at the hunchback, hitting the right torso, right leg, left leg with the mediums. Thunderbolt at the Ostrak, glancing off the right leg with the large laser, hitting a solid hit on the left arm with the medium. 2 machine guns to the left arm, one of them glancing, leaving him with 0 armor there. Flamer turret landing 2 flamers on the blackjack. That's Adon Gato's blackjack to the left leg and center torso. Adon Gato landing a glancing blow with his large laser on the Ostrak's left torso. Medium lasers to the right arm. The Wasp LAM. I didn't realize we had an allied Wasp LAM. Landing 3 LRMs to the Ostrak's head, destroying it. Man, there are quite a few headshots this battle. There was the Wolverine, there was the Whitworth, and now the Ostrak. And LRMs, no less. Who gets a head kill with LRMs? The hunchback landing medium lasers on Hoser's left torso and right leg, critting out one of his medium lasers, and a small laser to the right torso, leaving him with just 2 armor remaining. Lark landing a large laser on the Ostrak's left arm, destroying it, missing with the other large. 4 medium lasers, 3 of them hit, 2 of them to the right leg, 1 of them glancing, and a glancing blow to the center torso. 4 SRMs to the right arm, left torso destroyed, right arm internal. Double head kill, destroyed the head, and crit on cockpit. Did he crit on the cockpit? Crit on the cockpit and the sensors, yes. But I mean, it's moot after the head is destroyed. But I mean, insult to injury, why not? Where was I? SRM, 2 SRMs to the Ostrak's right arm and right leg. Ostrak at the Stalker. Hitting with medium laser would have been the head, but re-rolled that with edge to the center torso, leaving him with 31 armor. Medium laser to the left arm, leaving him with 7 armor. Friendly Griffin landing a PPC on Ostrak. Is that the same Ostrak? 69. 69. Yes, this is the dead one. PPC critting the gyro and engine, and LRMs also critting the engine. and destroying the right arm. So that Ostrak is not going to be worth much in the way of salvage. With 3 crits to the engine and the gyro and the right arm destroyed and the head destroyed, that's all the good stuff. Engine killed too, yeah. So yeah, that Ostrak was destroyed 3 different ways, with the head destruction, cockpit crit, engine destruction. Ostrak 68, landing a medium laser on the Thunderbolt's left arm and 2 SRMs to the center torso and left arm. But he's fresh, so he doesn't really care. Rifleman, landing a large laser on that first Ostrak's head. Quinlan McHale is already dead. So yeah, his entire head just became like a little supernova of all this damage. And then a large laser glancing off of the left arm into the center torso. Medium laser to the right torso. Autocannon 5. Okay, so that's 4 kills on the Ostrak, but now that the center torso is destroyed as well. So yeah, there's not much left of that thing. The Shadowhawk missing a Hoser 3 times. Scarponi PPCing the Warhammer to the left leg, destroying it. Transferring into the left torso. The gyro only took 1 hit that I saw. Or no, you're right. There's 2 gyro hits, but a gyro isn't a kill. It's yeah, barely anything left to salvage. I mean, we're gonna take it anyways, if nothing else for the XP for our techs, because I like Ostraks. I'm probably gonna fix it up if. There's a good chance we'll get that Ostrak up and running again. Because the engine and the gyro, we should be able to repair those. The head will have to be replaced. The cockpit will have to be replaced. Oh wait, no, the center torso is gone. Never mind. We're not going to get it up and running. I'm stupid. But we might be able to salvage the gyro or the engine. Probably not. I don't know. I want to say that there's a chance to salvage the engine and gyro even when the center torso is destroyed, but I'm not sure. If there is, it's a pretty slim chance, like a 10 plus on 2d6. Scarponi destroying the Warhammer's left leg, transferring into the left torso. Medium lasers to the center torso. Left torso transferring into the center torso. Yeah, that Ostrak is parts, and not much of that. Center torso down to 1 armor, 5 SRMs, critting the gyro, and the machine gun ammo. So there is nothing left of that Warhammer, even less than the Ostrak. And the pilot ejecting takes 5 damage, which kills him. So the Warhammer is toast as well. Hunchback took 40 plus damage, needs a 9, gets a 10, surprisingly. Shadowhawk needs a 7, gets a 7. Alright, so that leaves the Ostrak, this Thumper, the Hunchback, and the Shadowhawk, I think are the only things left. Werewolf is not going to make a physical attack, nor is Ash. Stiletto, however, is going to go for the punch on the Hunchback. Thunderbolt is going to go for the kick on the Ostrak. And Berlone gets his first kill since he joined the unit. Possibly ever, since I don't know how long he's been piloting this mech. And he was an infantryman before he won his mech in a poker game. I still love that story. Ostrak kicking the Thunderbolt in the right leg for 12. The Phoenix Hawk kicking the Shadowhawk in the right leg for 9, leaving him with 7 armor. Hunchback kicking Hoser in the chest for 10, leaving him with 12 armor. Cronus punching the Hunchback in the right torso rear, destroying it and blowing off his right arm, getting 2 more crits on the autocannon 20. Thunderbolt kicking the Ostrak in the right leg, critting on his lower leg, and knocking him down, where he takes 6 damage to the left arm and the head, forcing his first consciousness check. Shadowhawk also falling down, taking 5 to the left leg and 1 to the left arm, and forcing his first consciousness check as well. There are now 1 unit remaining in the garrison and 4 units remaining in the primary op 4. Some of them must still be hidden because I don't remember seeing them. So we've got the Ostrak, we've got the Hunchback, we got the Thumper, and 2 more around here somewhere. Alright, I'm going to move the guillotine up to control this intersection. Reload. Might as well move up to reinforce this intersection because I don't see any other targets. Hoser. We'll go ahead and get up and face the Hunchback, needing a 6 and getting the 6. Good deal. Let's see, the Ostrak walked to 0, still prone, so he must not have tried. If he tried to stand up, he failed. Oh, no. We're not going to fall off of this building. We'll jump. Oh, Hunchback, Shadowhawk. There's 1 more hiding out somewhere. Alright, Ostrak tries to sprint and stand at the same time, needs a 9 and falls, takes damage to his right leg and right arm, needs a 9 to avoid pilot damage, needs a 5 to stay conscious. Hoser needs a 6, gets a 6. Hunchback needs a 6 because he ran and turned, gets a 6. Shadowhawk needs a 6, gets a 9. Shadowhawk needs a 5, gets a 9. Rifleman needs a 3, gets a 5. On an 8 and 4s. We'll go up to 2 heat for that. We'll keep the, actually, I only need to keep 1 leg free for kicking, so we'll do like that. Slumber's immobile. Where is it weakest? On the rear, it looks like, which is an option. On 1s. Oh, we're gonna tear him up. If he's not dead at the end of this turn, I don't know what more I could have done. Yeah, we'll skip the large laser and one of the mediums, and we'll go for a little bit of crit seeking. We'll skip the large laser because at this range it's less efficient. We'll go heat neutral without it. And this Ostrak is going to be hating life. And we'll throw in the SRM2 just because. Verlone, unfortunately, hasn't got a target at all. Unless he wants to go for the turrets. Alright, Allied Blackjack still shooting at the building, which I wish he wouldn't do, but, you know, can't stop him. Adangato landing large laser to the Ostrak's left torso. Medium lasers to the right torso and left arm, destroying that. Medium laser to the right arm, leaving him with 2 structure. Hoser landing 2 PPCs on the hunchback, left leg and left torso, going internal on the leg, leaving him with 3 structure. Medium lasers to the left torso and right leg, destroying that, transferring into the right torso, transferring into the center torso. The Stalker at the Thumper, hitting the left side with both large lasers. Missing on a 4, yeah, I noticed that. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I feel like we're wrapping things up with this mission. Medium lasers into the Thumper's rear, and rear, leaving him with 8 armor. The LRM hits with 3 missiles to the left side. 3 total of 8 SRMs to the left side and rear, stunning the crew. Mostly the left side, it looks like, with the SRMs, stunning the crew again. Allied Phoenix Hawk shooting at a building. Ash in her Archer shooting at the Ostrak, destroying his right arm, transferring into the right torso, transferring into the left torso with the second hit. Medium laser stripping the left torso, center torso taking 10 down to 15 armor there. The Shadowhawk landing the autocannon 5 and the medium laser on Hoser's right leg and right torso. Going internal in both of those locations. Our Cronus hitting the Shadowhawk with just 2 SRMs to the left arm and left torso. The Wasp LAM friendly hitting the Shadowhawk in the center torso with a medium laser. Machine gun turret hitting Scarponi in the center torso. Guillotine and the Thumper hitting the rear, and the rear destroying the Thumper. So that's all of the enemy artillery donezo. Our Thunderbolt landing medium laser to the Ostrak's left leg, through armor crit on the hip and stripping the armor. Hitting the right torso, the right leg, and the head with a machine gun. causing him to take his 3rd consciousness check, which he does make, and a machine gun to the right torso. And an SRM to the right leg, destroying it. So he's going to be probably making his 4th consciousness check soon. Griffin shooting at a building, Rifleman at the Shadowhawk hitting with a medium laser to the center torso, autocannon 5 to the right arm, autocannon 5 to the right torso. Hunchback falls on his center torso and blacks out. Shadowhawk falls on his left leg and right leg, critting on his hip and making his 2nd consciousness check as well. Tsubasa is going to kick the Ostrak on a 4. Ash is going to kick the Ostrak. Wait, don't aim. Because, honestly, I need to figure out which optional rule to uncheck to get rid of this, because we were talking about optional rules earlier, and I was saying that I'd like to keep it as close to the tabletop experience as possible. This is one of those optional rules that I don't believe in. I think that a hatchet, according to the new rules, I remember when hatchets used to be on the punch table, but since they changed it, I'm willing to stick with the change and that you use the whole table. The guillotine has no target. Thunderbolt will be kicking the Ostrak as well. Also, because your target is prone, excuse me, with a hatchet, I understand there's an optional rule where you can target it on the punch or kick table at a penalty, but when your target is prone, you're automatically like using the like your kick table is automatically the full regular table. So I don't know how that interacts. That's kind of a curious situation. Oh, Archer hatcheted the Ostrak in the head, even without aiming it high or low. So that is a kill for Ash. The Wasp LAM kicks the Shadowhawk in the right leg. Blackjack kicks the dead Ostrak in the left leg. Cronus kicks the Shadowhawk in the left torso. Thunderbolt kicking the dead Ostrak in the left torso. Griffin kicking a building, which I wish he wouldn't do. Pilot Chi-Chi C needs an 11 to wake up and is successful. Wow. Blackjack is at 2 heat, Stalker's at 3 heat, Cronus at 2 heat, Rifleman at 1. The enemies we've got are now allies. We've got the Phoenix Hawk at 8, the Griffin at 10, and the Blackjack at 1. Alright. No more artillery. Only 3 units left of the primary op 4. We're still at 90% of our forces. It feels like we're a lot lower than that, to be honest. I mean, Hoser's taken a beating, Ash has taken a beating, and we're still at 90%, but maybe that's just because we still have reinforcements on the way. Speaking of reinforcements, what have we got? Where are the rest of them? There's the Hunchback, which is immobile and prone. There's the Shadowhawk, which is prone. Alright. Now it's a bug hunt. At this point, I'm deploying purely to try to find where the enemies are. I guess I'll put the archer, the Atlas there. I really don't know where the last bad guys are. If we can't find them in a couple of turns, I'm just gonna call it. Alright, Orion can advance. Other archer. I mean, they must be on top of a building or something. I don't know why we haven't gotten any sensor hits. At this point, I really don't want to take the chance of falling down and hurting someone. Alright, at this point we really are just wrapping things up. Go ahead and capture Chi-Chi. Hoser, you're gonna stand there and kill that hunchback. He's got it coming. Alright, the Shadowhawk tries to stand up and fails and blacks out. Just primary outforce still has 553 points remaining. Hunchback is worth, where is it? 35. The Shadowhawk is worth 518. 518 and 35 is what? 550, 553? Yeah. So I don't know where they're getting 4 units left, because it's literally just these two. They're both unconscious, prone, crippled, and surrounded. So we're going to go ahead and declare a victory, and we're going to capture those as soon as they wake up. Medic, indeed. Alright, our allies are still shooting at buildings. The machine gun turret is shooting at Ash in the center torso rear. Ejected unit pilots still count as the unit being alive, even if it's worth 0 BV. Okay, well, ejected pilots that we're not standing on top of are going to escape. But this battle is over. Officially, unofficially, what have you. The Wasp LAM is still landing some shots on the Shadowhawk. On 6s with the LRMs at minimum range. And everyone else is shooting at buildings. Pilot of the Hunchback needs a 7 to wake up, gets a 2. Pilot Chi-Chi has been picked up by the Blackjack. Everyone's running cool now. Yeah, the Hunchback and the Shadowhawk are the only units left. And they're unconscious, like I said, they're unconscious, crippled, and surrounded. Alright, Adon Gato unfortunately got no kills. Hoser got 2 kills, which is 1 short of that piloting skill that he needed. Vale Warwolf Rakzak got 3 kills. Ash got 1. The Guillotine got a kill. Scarpone got his first kill. And we do control the battlefield. Hoser's right is crippled. Ash is moderate damage. I mean, if that's moderate damage, well, I want to call that heavy damage, but Ukpik, how's it going? Glad to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Figured I'd mention that tomorrow's the 20th anniversary of MegaMek. Is it really? And the devs stated they want 49.7 out tomorrow or this weekend. That would be really cool. Hopefully it's not too much of a departure from what they've already got, which is an outstanding product. I mean, I guess product might be a stretch since they're not actually selling it, but you know, I can always hope that this game eventually will make it to mass market. I know it's very niche and probably won't be very profitable, but it's a pipe dream. But yeah, happy birthday to MegaMek indeed. So Hoser took 2 hits. And Hoser is the only one who took any hits, which is good. And he's probably just got like some cuts and scrapes and bruises. The turrets, I suppose for means of salvage, they did escape since they're neither going to be salvaged nor ransomed. Let's see, 80% of 35, 36 is gonna be what? About 30. So we can salvage literally everything on the field and still be well under that. Yeah, we're still only at 42% for the contract. Yeah, I know. Where's Chi-Chi? I want to make sure Chi-Chi got captured. We got the Hunchback pilot. We should also have gotten the Chi-Chi got captured. Don't let him take artillery. Most of that is just for our techs to gain XP dismantling it for parts. Let's see, who else did we capture? Thumper, the Whitworth pilot, the Wolverine pilot was, wait, not the Wolverine. The Wolverine was a head hit. Where is the Shadowhawk? The Shadowhawk pilot was unconscious in her cockpit when the mission ended. Alright, so Hoser got the Whitworth and the Thumper. Berlone got the Warhammer. Warwolf got the Wolverine and the Thumper. Ash got the Ostrak. And, oh, I forgot this other Thumper that Warwolf got. And Victor Rama and the Guillotine got the 4th Thumper. So plenty of XP going around. Forced withdrawal. We absolutely did force the withdrawal of literally everything. Engage with hostile units for null turns, we did that. And force withdrawal, facility destroyed if this objective is completed, so we're not going to complete that objective because we're going to leave the facility intact. So we've got not just a victory, I would call this a decisive victory with yeah, so there we have it. Just going back up to here. So we had bought an Ostsal since it's at the first of the month. Yarvik had spent some XP. We were working on that Vulcan that we salvaged the last mission. Chi-Chi, we have convinced Chi-Chi to defect. I was hoping that would happen. Everyone else is like, no, screw you. We recovered 4 mechs with no battle loss. I don't like the word most. Medic, yes, indeed. Infirmary. Hoser, sprained left arm, some cuts on his chest. I'm sure he'll be fine very soon. And everyone else that is wounded is a prisoner. And that'll put us at 23 of 25. Battle loss compensation. Whitworth, Phoenix, yeah, a bunch of stuff added to the roster as salvage. The repair bay just went from being empty to being relatively full. We're going to go ahead and save our campaign here. We're going to, oh, what do we call this? We're going to call that post mission so that it doesn't get confused with either of our other save files from this day. Thank you all for joining me. It's been a pleasure. Always glad to have you along for the ride. But this is where I'm going to call it. We're 5 minutes over. Carpathize, hey, have a good one. Thank you. You too. Like, comment, follow, subscribe, join the community. Link to the Discord is in my bio. Link to Twitch is in the YouTube and all that good stuff. And we will see you in the next one. HBS tomorrow night. Yes, sir.